Welcome to JavaScript Programming. I'm your instructor, Lisa Ballback, and I'm just going to uh, run through how the course is set up and cover what you need to do for your orientation activities. You'll notice we have a course banner at the top, and below that, we have links to sites that I think will be useful to you throughout the semester. So the JavaScript, jQuery, and Ajax tutorials are to sites containing new information, and the HTML and CSS and Luna pics are information that we had in the CIT 180 class, but I thought it might be helpful to have those links as refreshers. And Luna pics is useful for image editing. In this class, half of you are online and half of you are live stream. And so you'll notice I have a link to the Zoom virtual classroom. That is where I do the live stream class, and that is also where I have my office hours. Uh, Online students are welcome to attend the live stream class. Live stream students must attend. I do take attendance, so I do expect you to attend and show up. How I run the class is typically on Mondays, we cover new material. And then if there's remaining time at the end of the class, we have a computer lab for you to work on your assignment. And then I try to give the whole period on Wednesday for you to work on assignments. And on lab days, like Wednesdays, you just pretty much come in and, you know, let me know if you're having any difficulties with the assignment, and then you get to work. And if you want to work inside Zoom, that's fine. If you prefer to work outside of Zoom, that is okay too. The news and announcements section, I will post announcements for information that I would like all of you to know. One thing that I do every week is when I am done correcting, I will post an announcement to let you know that I'm done correcting your assignment. For the web-based assignments, you are allowed to correct your mistakes and resubmit because fixing errors is part of learning. And so when you get that announcement, it'll come through your email. You should come up to the course dashboard and go into grades. And then you will see your points in the first column out of the total. And then if you missed any points, you will see a comment over on the right-hand side. Okay, and the comments will tell you what the problem is if it's a web assignment, and then you will be able to resubmit. Okay, and if you can't see the entire comment, or if you notice that I've given you a link for a video, you can actually click on the assignment here. And then you can see the assignment comments better, and you can also access the video from here. And then when you're done, you can just go back into the course. The student lounge is for you guys to post information to each other. You can share resources, get to know each other a little better. And the social media links for the CIT department will have information on CIT events, and they will also have internship opportunities and job opportunities. So it is a good idea for you to follow CIT in one of these social media platforms. The sidebar at the top includes my information in the instructor block. So it's my office phone number, my email, my office number on campus. There's also a LinkedIn profile link. And if you log into LinkedIn, then you can see all sorts of information about me. So you can see I've got a lot of certifications that I've listed here and what my background is. Plus, you can see what my work experience is, my education, and then all of my different certifications. Okay, so all of this information is in LinkedIn. For office hours, I do have them listed over here under the live stream link, but they are also listed here. So you can see the different hours that I have my live stream office hours. And if those hours don't work for you, you can just send me an email and we can figure out a different time to meet. This little button down here is for advising. So when we get into an advising period, if you need help uh, with your schedule or anything else, you can actually schedule an advising appointment by clicking on that button link. Okay, and then that brings me to our different lesson blocks. I think we have probably 12 lesson blocks, plus there's kind of a final project block. There's several additional blocks besides the 12. I don't open them all up at the same time. Right now, I'm making some revisions to the course. So as I am done and as the semester progresses, I will be opening up additional blocks. At the very bottom are some coding resources for you. These are optional, as it says, but it's just one place where you can go to find, different HTML5 and CSS resources, JavaScript, jQuery, and Ajax. I like to collect ebooks, so I do make those available to you. So feel free to download. And then as you look through here, anything that you are interested in, by all means use. I do have image and image editing. These are free sites that you can use. Okay, so as I find other things that I think are interesting or useful, I will include them in here. And that brings me to our orientation and course information block. For week 1, we do have 2 different blocks that we need to complete. The orientation block and then our lesson 1 block. For the orientation, there's not a lot of assignments in here, but there are a couple that you need to do. But it's mostly kind of housekeeping tasks. So you can go ahead and read through the instructor welcome. That will kind of give you an overview of the course and tell you what my expectations are. The syllabus has my instructor information in it, the same information that is in the sidebar in Moodle, and a description of our course. We get into materials, and so the bookstore does not have our textbook. I'm not sure what happened. There was some kind of a snafu. The textbook can be purchased from Amazon. It is very inexpensive. However, for those of you that need to purchase books at the bookstore, I didn't want to make you go to Amazon. So what I am doing is I am letting you use the book, or I am putting together web-based resources that cover the same exact thing as the book. So you will have an option of using the web-based resources or reading the designated chapters in the book. Okay, so that will be your choice. But if you click on this link, it does take you into Amazon, and you can see that this paperback version of the book is very inexpensive. Okay. So back to the syllabus. The required software that we have for this course is the exact same as CIT190, and your FTP account will be the exact same. So if you don't remember the connection information, just send me an email and I will find it because it's in my outbox or my sent mailbox. I will find it and forward it to you. As far as learning outcomes, we do assess critical thinking. That is a general education outcome. And pretty much everything we do in coding classes is critical thinking. So it kind of makes sense for us to assess that. And then the learning outcomes are a little bit more broad and general, but by the end of the semester, you will be able to do everything that is listed under learning outcomes. Over here for assessment method, these are the types of assignments that we are going to be doing to meet the learning outcome that is listed. And I will mention, because quite often there are people that don't like discussion exercises, but for some of our learning outcomes, the best way for us to address these outcomes and to make sure that you have gained the skill is to do a discussion. So we do have discussion exercises in this class. They are not busy work. They are actually geared towards um, meeting some of our outcomes. Now, in this class, you are graded based on percentages. So you want to get as many points as possible. And we have 1,000 points in this class. And the way that you get points is you do the assignments. And the assignments are worth quite a few points, between 15 and 40. We have 3 unit tests, and those are also worth quite a few points. And then for the final, we have the IT specialist JavaScript certification exam. And the unit tests are kind of geared to give you a little practice to help you do better on that certification exam. In addition to that, we have a term project, and the term project has 3 different milestones. You will start by submitting a proposal, and the proposal is going to indicate what 3 games you are going to be creating, because that is the project. You will be creating an interface that houses the links to the games, and then you will be creating 3 games. So milestone 1 is the interface that you will be creating. So you're going to want some kind of a theme that carries over from the interface into your games. And so milestone 1 is creating the interface. The interface needs to be HTML5 and CSS3. It does not need to be JavaScript. Okay, there is no JavaScript requirement in the first milestone. Okay, it needs to be a responsive HTML5, CSS3 site. Once you finish that milestone, then we will have a discussion where you will basically share with the class some of the design considerations, like why did you select the responsive format that you chose? Why did you select the menu system that you chose? Basically sharing your design thought process with the class. And then you will have a link to your first milestone that you will share. And then your peers will take a look, and then they will give you some feedback. And I like feedback to be positive. So it will be positive comments or suggestions for improvements. Then milestone 2 is going to be 1 completed game and 1 partially completed game. And once you've got that done, we will again have a showcase discussion where you're going to discuss design considerations. You'll also talk about the coding. So if you ran into any problems, you will summarize those. You will also share with your classmates how you overcame your problems. Okay? And so that is milestone 2. And then we will be doing a peer review on that. Milestone 3, all 3 of your games need to be fully functional. And so milestone 3, that showcase, that is your last showcase for your project. So you will be sharing information about all 3 games. Specific requirements for the different showcases are posted on web pages. And then there will be a peer review of that. Okay, so you can see how the points lay out for all of that. And then as far as discussion, ePortfolio and GitHub, after each of your milestones, you will be uploading the project to GitHub. At the end of the semester, you will be updating LinkedIn and you will be adding information about your term project, and you will include a link from LinkedIn to your GitHub repo. And then other discussion items that we have are geared to meet our learning outcomes. So there are a couple additional discussion exercises that we will have, and those are posted periodically throughout the course. And I try to add discussion in weeks where we aren't quite as busy. Here is our grading scale. And so you can see it's based on percentages. This is the business division's grading scale, it's their breakdown, and we use that in all of our CIT classes. Okay, so information that I just covered about your assignments, the readings, all of that, you can read through again here. And I will let you read through the rest because I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Then that gets us to the college syllabus. Make sure you read through this. It's the same for all the courses, but you are responsible for knowing what's in there. So, once you've read through it for one course, unless you've forgotten things, you're probably okay. The assignment schedule, this goes through week by week what we are going to be covering. A lot of students find it very helpful to print this out. And then as you complete things, you can cross them off. If you are on campus, make sure you watch the campus safety video. I realize you guys are all live streaming online, but you may have other on-campus classes. That brings me down to orientation assignments. So we have a couple assignments. The first one is a student profile glossary. There is a video here for you guys to watch if you're not sure of how to do it. But in general, you just add a new entry. If for concept, it'll have your first and your last name. And then down here, you need to add a photo. And then below the photo, little description of yourself, or you can choose to add a quote. You can add some hashtags, anything like that. And then you will go ahead and save it. And where this ends up showing up is in the sidebar. Oops, so let me go back out of here. Every time we come into class, you're going to see a different student spotlighted. In fact, if you reload, you should see different students pop up. So this is just kind of a nice way of getting to know everybody that's in the class. Okay, and there's the one that I did. That is worth points. And as I said, it's just kind of a nice way to get a feel for a class, especially because half of us are online, half of us are live stream, but we are just one class. Another thing that we're going to do to share with classmates is our introduction. So I added one down here. You can see we've got other students who've added as well. And for mine, I use this as an opportunity really to introduce myself and to tell you what my background is and how I actually got into teaching, because I started out as a programmer analyst. So this is a little bit about my journey, little about the courses I teach, things that I do in my free time. Okay, and so I probably overshare, and you guys do not need to share that much information. So only share what you are comfortable with. Okay, and so what I would like for you to share is, nicknames that you have, what your major is, maybe hobbies that you enjoy, and anything else that you feel comfortable sharing. Okay, so there's information at the top as far as the types of things that you might want to share. Okay, so that is also worth points. And for the orientation, the only other thing that you really need to look at is the required software. And you probably already have it installed from CIT 180. But if you don't, if you have a new computer or anything like that, you can go ahead and download and install the software. And as I mentioned, the web host, you do not need to worry about because we are still going to use those accounts that I created for CIT 180. If you run into any problems or if you have any questions about the course or about our orientation, please let me know. Also, after you finish the orientation, the lesson 1 block is also due at the end of the first week. So don't forget to go through that.